All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the SkinCoin WCA event here. We got game number 2, Vega Squadron versus HellRaisers. This is kicking off our round-robin format here. These are Group A teams going at it. Again, 4 teams in each group. The top 2 of each of the groups advance onto the playoff stage, and then they play to attempt to advance on to the LAN portion of this event. The top 2 eventually from there. So again, 2 of these 8 teams ultimately getting that LAN portion, and their share of that's $50,000 prize pool. It's actually on the line for this online portion here. Anyways, I am back. BreakyCPK joined by TraLF once again as my co-caster here. And real quick reminder as well, you take exclamation point SkinCoin in chat. You find out giveaway information, as well as you go to skincoin.org. It's a latest cryptocurrency in the esports market. You can trade it in for your skins in both Dota 2 as well as CSGO. All right, the draft underway. We got a Lich into a Nature's Prophet and Spearbreaker from Vega Squadron so far. It's a very active duo of heroes on their side. And I know you TraLF, you love your Spearbreaker.
I do, and I think these are both really good heroes against a Lich. I mean, Lich is thought of as like, if your first pick, you don't ban it because it's just so much better than every other first pick. But there's honestly a lot of ways of playing around Lich. And the most obvious one is that when you pick a Lich, you're most certainly going to take advantage of dual lanes. And if you do that, you can get away with heroes like Nature's Prophet, because it's difficult to find a lot of dual lanes that can really shut him down. So you have to be very, very careful of that when you have a Lich. So you got that issue. Then you have also the issue of Spearbreaker that can just kind of close the gap easily, and Lich can't stop the charge. You can't break it. There's no stun on him or anything like that. So they have 2 different ways of dealing with that really, really strong first pick in Lich.
God, these teams, usually these first 2 picks are, fairly confident with getting it, but man, we're dipping a lot of reserve time here right off the bat.
Whoa.
That's a troll.
It is.
That's early.
Yeah. Well, if they have something that can pair well with the troll in the safe lane against a potential Furion in the off lane, then that's one way to do it. Troll has a nice way of initiating from a good distance with that slow from the axes, and that could be perhaps a way to lane against the Nature's Prophet. Also, doesn't really take a lot of damage from his auto attacks or treants early on. Has a very, very high base armor once you get that melee form, and then with something like a poor man's shield, even close to a tower, you're looking at like 8 plus armor, so can mitigate a lot of the auto attack damage early from Nature's Prophet. Now, I will say in general, though, obviously when you 1v1 somebody, he can bash you to death and doesn't really care about that in terms of fighting a Spearbreaker, but Spearbreaker can kind of disrupt him in team fights. He can kind of charge, kite him a little bit, run around, ulti. He can stun through BKB if he does go for that with his ult. You can also stun through, I talked about this at great length with you last time, but you can stun through with his charge as well. Even if he has a BKB, you can just target something else as long as you know that the direction of your charge is going to hit him.
That's true, yeah. Again,
wait for your ultimate, wait for another charge. It's just a really good way of kiting Magic Immunity.
Radiant team back.
Yeah, makes sense. So they already have a good hero for dealing with said early pick in the troll world, it sounds like, and that really is putting the the pressure on HellRaisers. If anything, it's when we talked about their draft last game, maybe we weren't as much of a fan of it even going in, and they just got the slow start, unfortunately, and we're not able to recover. So we'll see if this backfires for them, but we know that they're a skilled team for sure. Definitely can play against the likes of a Vega Squadron. A Vega looking very good in that first game. They ban Enigma as well as a Sand King, so a couple of curious bans right there. Enigma we haven't really seen a whole lot of, but again, I personally haven't been watching a lot of the European region either, so for all I know, HellRaisers has been playing the hero a bit, so perhaps some research being done there. But the Puck and the Quap bans coming out from HellRaisers, so very mid-heavy on top of the Necrophos they even banned initially at this point.
Yeah, and I like the Sand King ban as well. I think that could have been a nice support hero to not only work well with a Lich, in terms of you got one that's range and one that's nuke, and then you got another one that is a hard stun that can lane well with Troll, that can roam around, doesn't really die in lane. Could have been a very, very nice pick for HellRaisers, so I like that ban from Vega. Another option that they could... I mean, the good thing about Troll Warlord is you can pair pretty much anything with him. He's a very strong laner. You can pair something like a Kunkka, like we saw last game. You can pair, you know, they probably don't want to go around the route of a ranged hero because then it's just too squishy support. Could be food for the Spiritbreaker Furion combo.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Spiritbreaker, but obviously Vega
remaining.
has that. But there's a lot of different options that basically is what I'm getting at for this
5
troll. And the
seconds
Chen
remaining.
pickup here for Vega. Interesting. We don't see this hero picked up that much anymore, although we're starting to see it a little bit, you know, here and there. I think Complexity's picked it up a couple times.
Yep.
But yeah, it's always fun to see Chen in the game. Honestly, I like seeing people that can micro well with their creeps.
I've made that point before, and actually, Puppy has been playing it a fair amount for Secret as well. He really has been winning some games with it over there in their qualifiers. But as you mentioned, Z-Freak's been playing it for Complexity, and I even saw Misery play it for the PPD stack, now known as Optic Gaming even. So, yeah, he's been making appearances here and there, and we're going to see yet another one of Vega Squadron playing it, actually. So, I'm looking forward to it. Always an entertaining hero, definitely in the right hands. HellRaisers, though, they respond for now with that third pick, Magnus, coming out, so going to empower the Troll Warlord. It seems like it's going to be all about buffing him. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised to see an Ogre Magi on top of this. Just put the whole buff on this Troll and make it a true 4-1 strategy. But
HellRaisers turn to pick.
Yep, they could do that. Monkey King. It's actually kind of a... Mag is actually kind of nice against Monkey because you can skewer him out of his own ulti. So one thing you have to be a little bit worried about. But the one bad thing about a Chen is it kind of gives the enemy off lane a bit of an easier time. It's difficult to find an opening unless, of course, you get a really nice creep and the lane is pushed up in your favor. Whoa, they're going to roam this Chen then, I guess. This was a hero that's a big problem for Chen and it makes the hero kind of difficult to play. Like, basically, Bounty Hunter was really popular for a long time and no one could pick a jungler because Bounty Hunter would just kind of really abuse that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. They have a Bounty Hunter and a Lich. So in terms of team fight, their supports are very weak. I guess they make up for that in the Empower and the RP. But we'll see. We'll see how this Chen deals with pressure because he's going to be having some of it.
yeah, that's when I first saw the Bounty Hunter, I was a little uncertain, but you are right. If you need a hero to... If there's a way to lock down Chen, maybe why we don't see him is that because he can be harassed. And just junglers in general, again, they don't really exist nowadays within the meta outside of a couple select few, and Chen is at least attempting to come onto the scene. But it opened up the option for the Bounty Hunter, and sure enough, they do snatch it up with that 4th pick, still needing the 4 roll, the position 4 even. So it does seem like it just makes sense here coming out for them. But they still need what? Their mid-hero now for HellRaisers. Both sides, actually, yeah.
Now, the other interesting thing, though, is that they picked Bounty into Spiritbreaker, which is, I mean, Spiritbreaker counters Bounty, so that's one thing you have to think about. They're like, okay, well, we like the Bounty against the Chen because we can roam and kind of disrupt his movements, maybe break some smokes here and there. But they did, again, they picked it into a Spiritbreaker, which is very, very strong against Bounty. So it's kind of, you give and you take a little bit here.
Yeah. There's Ember Spirit. Yeah, a lot of these mid heroes banned out, so we're going to start dipping down the tier list as far as the usual options, at least. There's a couple, maybe, I mean, Visage. We see that every now and then. Would that make sense here for HellRaisers, possibly? There's a Lena ban even from them. Jeez.
Yeah, you're right. They're just really going down the list. And it's going to be a Timbersaw. I was going to think maybe Vega could use a DK. I know G plays a very, very nice DK, but I don't know if you really want to put DK against a Timbersaw now. That could be a pretty rough lane for him. So Timbersaw to round things out. I believe there's only one strength hero, so that's a bit interesting. And I guess there's 2 melee.
Maybe the Chen minions. It's good for that possibly with the chakram. And
yeah, you do have a pure damage nuke, so if he gets levels quickly, it could be bad for him. And speaking of some nukes and some good damage, that Pugna is going to be very, very strong. Not a lot of ways to stop him from channeling his ult either. I mean, not even Lich can't even do it anymore. He can't even disrupt it because there's no mini stun in his ult anymore. It's basically a Lucky Bash from Troll, a Skewer, which is pretty unreliable, an RP, I guess, and maybe a Shuriken. But I don't know. I feel like for this Bounty Hunter, he's either going to take off, totally destroy this Chen, or the Spiritbreaker is going to be roaming around with the Chen ready with a dust, and the second Bounty Hunter pops up, he's going to kill him. So it depends on where the Spiritbreaker goes. And wasn't trying to think. Isn't yellow there?
Yeah, no, that's what I was actually going to point that out. That's Aloha Dance right there. And he was playing that carry last game at least.
Maybe they're going to swap because Slayer's on the monkey game. Well, I don't know. Is this going to be a one position Spirit Breaker? I'd love to see it.
What would be the reason for it, I guess, is the obvious. I mean, you mentioned he's pretty damn good against a troll, so maybe they're really putting the value.
I've never seen it before. That would be something else.
They do pause here, eh? I mean,
now, he hasn't bought items. Let's check out some items. Slayer has... Oh, no, they swapped. All right.
Okay. They did swap, yeah.
I was getting pretty excited there for a second. They had my hopes up.
That would have been fun. No, not going to see that, though. We got the Monkey King carry instead. And the roaming Spirit Breaker. But, yeah, he already has the dust picked up. You were talking about that idea where maybe he's going to sit near the Chen at least and be ready for Bounty Hunter to take him out as he's trying to harass that Chen. You are right though about this dire side here as far as their lineup goes. They really do not. They don't have any single reliable stun outside of a huge ultimate cooldown in RP. Like,
which is why I thought the Sand King ban was really strong because that's something you need to supplement with the Lich pick. Lich is very, very strong in dual lanes, but you need to make sure you have some kind of stun. Lich just has nothing. So Sand King would have, I think, been a great force support for HellRaisers, but that was banned out smartly by Vega. And they do go with a bounty because they want to disrupt this Chen's movement and, like I said, perhaps break some smokes or what have you. But again, you're picking that into a Spirit Breaker, which is a bit dicey. So I'm very curious. I really think it's going to go one way or the other. Either Spirit Breaker is not going to be able to find him with his movements, and this Chen's going to get completely shut down. Or if I'm a bounty hunter, I'm scared because I don't really want to mess with a Chen because if Spirit Breaker is anywhere nearby and has a charge, if Chen has a good creep, I'm dead immediately. So you have to be very, very careful. And if that's the case, if you're very careful, playing careful as a bounty hunter is not what you want to do. You want to play ballsy. You want to kind of be in the face of the enemy heroes and disrupt their farm and what have you. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
What about his decision to go those boots first over, say, the Orb of Venom? Does that make sense to you that he wants that mobility?
I actually think that does make sense. I think you need that movement. He also picks up a Fairy Fire and a couple Clarities to perhaps break that dust if used, so he can boost up his movement speed. So I do like that.
Okay. Then you got Pugna in the hands of G here, of course, setting up to be in the middle lane. Decrepify is going to be an interesting ability this game. It's
oh god,
what's up?
Yeah, it's just so good this game. I mean, against a troll, I mean, it's a single target physical damage. You can not only decrep him, but if he gets BKB, you can decrep the hero is going on as well.
Yeah,
very, very strong.
See, that's what I was getting at though. It is very strong for that purpose, but there is a lot of magic damage as well on the side of HellRaisers here. So it's not like a guaranteed save by any means. But if the troll's on somebody, you decrep them. Ideally, that would be more beneficial than not, of course. So. That defensive purpose, the disarm effect of using it aggressively, and Pugna has always kind of been an interesting hero to me. The more we've seen it, the more I've personally kind of grown on the idea of it, and for the longest time, I just kind of saw it as like this glorified support that people just insisted on running mid, but I mean, he essentially still is that. He becomes that, but it does do work.
Oh yeah, game, I think if I was to make a broken hero list right now, he would definitely be on the top 5 for me.
Really?
I really think Pugna is just. I never think there's a bad game for Pugna unless you're up against like first pick PL and Nyx. Those are like the hardest counters for Pugna.
Okay.
But there's neither of those heroes in this game, so I think G's gonna have a great time. It also lanes really well against pretty much everything.
First blood.
Slayer's in some trouble. Elon with some really fast boots. Okay, we'll see. He's got a great start to this game so far, Breaky. With that first blood.
Yeah,
That's one way to start it.
That helps. That helps quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, they were hero blocking him initially, and then he actually skewered him to slow him down even, and the stutter step at the last second from Spirit Breaker. He might have just figured he needed to like charge or something there to get out, but it wasn't going to work. So that's a huge start for the Bounty Hunter. As right off the bat, look at this, a Wild Ring Ripper picked up by Chen, and he sends it mid with a Tornado. This is a curious strategy. Bounty Hunter's slowly killing it.
Yeah, very, very slowly. In fact, he just gives up. He's like, fuck this, I don't want this is wasting my time. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Huh.
His mode of thinking there. But anyway, it's going to be the Timber Saw in the safe lane against the Nature's Prophet. He wants this matchup because the treants just don't really harass him that much, at least, especially when he gets that level 2 reactive armor. So,
yeah.
Lich's going to be up here to help him out until that time. And what do we got in the bottom lane? We got Magnus solo up against the Monkey King. That's kind of a good, well, it's definitely a good matchup for the Monkey King, but I'm sure that Magnus can get some last hits here and there with Shockwave.
Top lane, Afterlife is in a lot of trouble right here. Bounty Hunter even assisting and gets the final auto attack. No, 3-3 got it, but they get the kill. And now Slayer, he should be able to TP out just fine. As, once again, they do not really have the best stoppers right here. But they got the initial kill on Nature's Prophet and good rotation from the Bounty Hunter. He's already very involved. He is 1-0-1 in this game at this point. So you talk about a big start for Bounty Hunter needed, and boy is he getting it at this point. It's not necessarily locking down Chen either just yet. It's just simply getting kills so far. As he's charged up, but that was awkward. Slams right in and stops.
I was watching mid where Chen's microing the Satyr against the Troll, but he actually missed one of his nukes. He's going to bait Troll into thinking that he can kill it and then takes over a nuke creep. Kind of wastes his time. I like that play. Guts another Wild Ring Ripper. Perhaps can throw it mid again. There is a haste rune that spawned bottom. Chen sees it, but Magnus is going to pick it up in time. Dyer's Courier is killed. I'm assuming by Bounty Hunter. Oh, no, it's Dyer. Sorry, Dyer's. Milan, speaking of him, it's going to put some pressure onto this Chen. Spirit Breaker all the way up top, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, what do you think about Chen? Like, this is the second Wild Ring Ripper now. He mentioned the Satyr he had baiting on the Troll Warlord. Is this worth Chen's time? Like, is this a good use of it? It feels he's still level 1.
And I know why you're asking, because obviously we both have a Han background. When we saw Chen picked and played in Han, it's completely different than Dota, isn't it? I mean, Dota, Chen is very much screw with the other lanes, get no farm for yourself, very selfless play. But in Han, we saw it a lot differently, where it's just you farm, get those levels, get that level 6, get tons of creeps early on, and then go push. So yeah, I know that's why you're thinking that, because it's a totally different way to play it. And I think this game, I'd have to say it's not going to be that effective. I mean, he's just going to be so under-leveled right now. So we'll see. Maybe he gets a lucky creep and kills bottom or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Troll's definitely being dominated, especially because of that, if anything. But top lane, by the way, again, they're going in. Nature's Prophet, he should be fine. The Shuriken, not enough damage to secure that there. But, yeah, I mean, you do look at the CS here. It's 32-7 Pugna versus a 20-0 Troll Warlord. So no doubt the Chen's appearance there is helping. But now he's starting to farm a little bit more himself. He does have the Dark Troll Summoner currently, and he hits level 2 at least. And going to continue picking up from there. But then there's the bottom lane, Monkey King. He, of course, is having a great time. Magnus getting some last hits, as you're talking about, but he's actually being doubled right now by the Monkey King even. And he's currently being charged up, actually, as well. Yeah. Don't know if that's going to result in anything, but...
No, they see him charging. If anything, it's just a vision charge to keep him at bay, see where he's going, whatnot. Milan had a great start, scouting out this Furon right now. He's almost level 3. Does have 1 point in the Shuriken to perhaps... I guess a nice last hit there. Does hit level 3 right now. Oh, nice entry placed by Chen. Keep him at bay. That is the monster combo of creeps, by the way. The Dark Troll Summoner plus the Centaur. And they smoke up right afterwards. They want to keep the aggression up. Maybe looking for a kill mid. It's actually pushing out slightly, so maybe they go top, or maybe they wrap all the way around mid. They do have level 6 on Pugna. They can initiate here with the decrypt. There's actually a TP coming in right here. And it's going to scout him out.
I noticed that, but they don't even care. They're still going to dive the Troll in the backlands. A Centaur Stomp happens. There's the nuke from Chen, and it is going to be enough damage for Kaiser to be dead. Yes, it is. The TP support from J4, but, you know, what is the Lich really going to do? Has some armor to apply, but other than that, not much else. And this is an easy tower push now. In fact, they dust up, and Milan's being creep blocked here of sorts as well. He gets charged in, and he's definitely going to be falling. Another blast on top of him. Wow. Half-life to nothing. That with the Decrepify. Level 3. That does a lot of damage.
Yeah, really interesting play that he would reveal himself right there. I don't know if he just didn't have vision of the Spirit Breaker in the trees there, but he definitely knew he was around. So that's going to be a fast tower kill as well on top of that. Gee, with 55 CS now with the tower kill. Oh boy. Oh boy, he is farmed. That's a 4K gold lead at 6 minutes in, man. And it was looking even there, like not only, what, a minute ago?
Yeah.
And now it looks disastrous.
it started with the bounty hunter find. They found the bounty hunter and they rotated mid, and obviously we know that this team is that is a power of Chen. Even at level 3, just having the 2 minions is plenty of assistance for pushing an objective as they did right there. So the smoke gank rotation was perfect. Bottom lane, Monkey King, by the way, he pops a salve and he leaps into the tree right as the auto attack was coming out from Milan. So unfortunate for HellRaisers there. That would have been a big pick for them, as slowing down him at least. But going back to Pugna real quickly, he has this really amped start as you're getting at. He finishes Arcane Boots. What does he use this farm with, you think, to get as far as his item progress goes?
Aether Lens. He has double null, so he can go for the Veil as well. He's actually putting some pressure on to Timbersaw. Stun coming out. Lots of damage. Has one more nuke as well. He's getting slowed up just a little bit. Only 3 stacks of reactive armor here for the Timber. And he can't really Timber chain anywhere as he's just surrounded by trees. Also, another cool play that you can do with your Nature's Prophet, although he doesn't have a point in Sprout yet, is you can, if you're predicting him to make a long-range escape with that Timber chain, you can throw down a Sprout and he Timber chains to nowhere.
Oh,
so
good point.
We'll see if that comes in. We'll see if that comes into play later, but he doesn't have Sprout just yet. Again, more tower pushing up in the top lane this time. Monkey King. Maybe they look for a go on him here. Lich, he's got only level 1 nuke, so the damage output is not high. Maybe they get some lucky bashes here onto him. Can't really go into a tree just yet.
Yeah, he's
lucky bash.
Kind of running up, so he turns around the Boundless Strike. He's definitely dead, though, especially with the Timbersaw rotation. That's now space created, I guess we can call it, because this team was pushing the top lane meanwhile. And they do get the tower kill up there, and he drew all the attention, essentially, to him.
Yeah, they couldn't have defended that tower anyway, so. Unfortunately, gives up a freebie there from Monkey King, but obviously they're still okay with that. They're getting map control. They're getting tons of gold on their supports. Chen's actually level 5, despite the slow start. Speaking of Chen, he's up in a little bit of a pickle here.
Another blast throwing down to try to assist and scare them off. It's not going to happen, though, but the Centaur Stomp will keep him alive a little bit longer. The heal at the last second. What a clutch heal from G. I'm pretty sure that auto attack would have been enough damage, but G's like, nah, I got you, bro. Heals them up, and no shrine to use, but they're fine. That was so clutch from the Centaur Stomp to the heal at the last second.
Yeah, really nice plays here from Vega. I'm quite impressed. And I've always been a big fan of G. I mean, that guy is just such a great player and a very, very underrated mid player. I shouldn't even say underrated. I'm pretty sure most people are in agreement that he's very, very strong. It's just we haven't seen him be on that team long enough to just have extremely good results. Obviously, he's had decent results, but you know, I'm talking like really, really good results.
At the big lands,
yeah,
and,
yeah, exactly.
You know, when you're in CIS, lately at least, of course, you're dealing with Virtus Pro just taking all the attention, and now even Na'Vi to an extent. But Vega Squadron's always kind of been that next tier team that's had solid placements, and they've been to a couple lands. And I agree with you. As G, by the way, well, that's not G. That's actually Spirit Breaker coming in. Kid is going to try to live shockwaves randomly, just trying to do anything he can, but that's not going to happen. And Magnus is dead. Now they find Milan. The dust comes out, and that should be a kill on him. Fully charged Jingu.
And they kill a tower. 2 hero kills and a tower and lose absolutely nothing. And that was a level 3 Spirit Breaker that happened to just solo down a, low HP Magnus. Level 3 Spirit Breaker, level 7 Magnus. Soloed him with a bounty hunter nearby.
Yeah.
Don't want that happening.
No. No, you don't.
He charges, I think, top lane. Giving vision to the Timbersaw. Or of the Timbersaw, I should say. But he's got 20 stacks on him with ice armor, so he's...
Yeah.
He's sitting at 37 armor here at 10 minutes.
Don't think you're killing him right there at that point, but we did see the presence of Pugna against a hero like Timbersaw. Obviously, he doesn't care about that armor and the regen to an extent. He has very heavy burst between Nether Blast and even the Life Drain kicking in. Now he has that Villa Discord, of course, and that Aether Lens is coming along, so seems like you're right there on that prediction. And Diffusal Blade, by the way, is going to be Monkey King's choice. So he's not going the Echo Saber, maybe, which we see a lot of the time. He's just gonna go straight into a Diffusal Blade instead at this point.
Is almost certainly in response to the Lich armor.
True.
He wants to. It's a really annoying thing to have to deal with. Just in general, it's also just a very good item. Good stats, mana burn, etc.
Nature's Prophet. He's up here. They know it. Bounty Hunter. Oh, he can't keep the vision. There we go. Now he sees him, and now this is the kill. Yeah, Timbersaw is going to cut through all the trees, and Afterlife just kind of accepts it. at that point. So.
I'm really surprised he hasn't put 1 point in Sprout yet. Not that it would have necessarily saved him there, although maybe it could have, but interesting that there's not a point yet into it.
Oh, wow, yeah. He has the drums first as far as his build go. Phase boots drums. Pretty simple stuff here so far. Troll Warlord, though, we can't overlook what he's doing. He's got the Mask of Madness, has the phase boost just delivered to him in full. He's second in net worth right now, 5,100 net worth. Is there maybe a, is there like a key item that he's going to be picking up here that perhaps that's going to be the changer, the tide changer of this game?
No, unless he went for something like a Shadow Blade. But I think the key item here is the Blink, again, for their offlaner. Like, it was the key item last game, it's the key item this game. And unfortunately, in both games, it's going to be coming out relatively slowly. A little bit better this game than last, although Charge coming out with that sucky on to 33, and man, he's hard game for him. This last pick Pugna is not only is, I mean, you first pick a Pugna, you're going to have problems, but he last picked this, which again, theoretically, strongest hero when you have a last pick. And he's just taking off.
That
Aether Lens of
insane. Afterlife is dead, by the way, bottom lane, so a find once again for the dire side at least to get something. But they're going to start pushing tier 3 here as Lich is also going to get caught. He gets bashed backwards. Nether Blast, man.
That was like, what, a one-shot from full HP?
He had like 80% HP, yeah. That was insane. Jesus.
All he needs is a Dagon now, and he can start one-shotting everybody.
Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad pick, especially against the Timbersaw. I mean, you weren't joking saying that, right? Like, that actually would be a good pickup.
Not joking at all. It was a very, very good item on Pugna. Other things that are very good in this game, there's like a Yules. Most common is just the Ags, but meh, boring.
Yeah, right.
I like seeing some Dagons.
Yeah, that's more of that, as I said earlier, the glorified support build. Let's get some Dagons here. Let's nuke people down.
And he is going
He's
Ags.
going Ags, son of a bitch. All right, G going the boring route. I kind of want to really win this game.
Yeah.
All right, this mid tower, though, it's dropping. I mean, Lich Armor's nice, but Nether Blast obviously doesn't care about that, so
nope.
He's able to nuke through it. There's a Walding Ripper. Tornadoes in the back lines, and yeah, no blink on the Magnus. Said he's 100 gold away, so he almost has it here, but not going to be able to stop this.
Poor Courier. Slayer did such a good job trying to stop him from doing that. He was even guarding it, putting sentry rewards around, but it's going to be the demise of Milan, I think. As, yeah, Dust does come out. They really want to pay him back for taking this Courier, because they knew it was coming. Yeah, but they do get a kill.
Yeah, nothing on it at least. So not necessarily the biggest deal for them. And double damage rune spawns, right? And it's like, hey, are you doing Roshan? There you go. We'll go ahead and put this down for you.
Yeah.
And just Prophet picks it up. Not the quickest killing Roshan team. I mean, Monkey King's not here, so that doesn't help. He's busy farming some more, I guess, as there's also this huge stack of Ancients that he's trying to steal, but Bounty Hunter's pointing in after the resurrection.
Blink on Mag. This actually could be a very good fight for HellRaisers. They have everything they need.
Guys just going in. There's the RP that they're looking for. 3 heroes, a Shockwave on top, and the Chain Frost bouncing around. The heal for G with the life gem. It's not going to be enough. The Wukong's coming in the back lines, but as you said, Trow, this could be it. Damn was a good fight for HellRaisers, and all because of the Blink RP from Kid. Monkey King just trying to hide off to the side. They're also going to get him, and that's going to be a full wipe on top of the Roshan kill. Talk about just a complete change of pace in this game now. HellRaisers, all of a sudden, they're looking good.
Oh, man. What about a 6K gold swing? That was insane, really, and just perfect timing for the Mag Blink. Happened to be there and got a very, very nice RP. They just didn't anticipate it. They didn't think that he was going to have it or something, but they all clumped up. And what better place to do that than Roshan?
Yeah, insane. G, oh,
G
this is too manly?
Yeah.
This is way too manly. 3-3's almost dead, but the Matchbox comes out and G does fall. The Nether Ward is down, doing some return damage. Down goes Timbersaw, actually, and the Nether Strike locking down Kaiser. The Urn is put up. Is it enough? It might. Oh, the Boundless Strike was just out of range. A Shockwave also misses. And he actually does escape with 20 life, not activating the Aegis. So they lost a couple of heroes, but gee, he just got really manly right there. And that did not work out as planned.
Yeah, it didn't. Into them. Man, unfortunate. That was a really, really good fight now for 8-Gar, and puts him in the driver's seat. There's tons of farm with Empower onto this Troll Warlord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how this starts to starts to turn because their late game is I think significantly stronger. Chen really starts to fall off as the game goes on. They have Empower, they have RP, and they have a melee core to use that to Empower. So
that's whenever you have that combo, it's never over, and that's a perfect example of why right there. I know it's still very early on in the game, but even as this game continues on, that's always going to be a presence. Now, I will say with Chen, he does have the Axe queued up, and this has kind of been the build, a minus into the Axe that we've been seeing on these Chens lately, and that's kind of the power point for him, is he gets the Axe, he gets the Ancient Creeps, and they try to push tier 3s with that. If they can't do that, then yeah, Chen really does start to fall off.
Okay, so that's the build nowadays, I guess?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's a bit different than I've seen lately. Is that, okay, cool.
With Puppy and Z-Freak from what I saw recently too. So they pushed the tier 2 bottom lane. Milan's checking it out though. Remember the track's also a way to really get back into this game and pull ahead. Monkey King is going to be engaged. Another RP hits a couple of targets right there. The Chain Frost bounces around, bounces over to the Creeps though. But they get 2 kills off the bat. Decrepify applied to the Bounty Hunter, just simply trying to keep G alive as he's running now. Meanwhile, top lane, Nature's Prophet is pushing it. The tier 3 getting some damage. J4, he comes in though, going to try to stall this as he applies the armor. The chase is still happening though. Pugna going to be skewered back in, and that Nether Ward blasting a lot of people, but it's not nearly enough, and he does end up falling. And J4 does end up defending the top tower. On top of that, so it almost feels like Vega Squadron's getting panicked here. Like they're almost like rushing now to try to get these objectives before a timing window hits, and it's not working.
I mean, well, they had an idea of how easy it was to kill them. Oh, they gets the bash. Second hit bash on to another bash on top of that. The shuriken bounces across. They get a track. Another track applied. Ulti coming out from side to try to buy some time. Nice Centaur Stomp to keep Kaiser at bay. But, man, the bash is coming in aplenty as he activates that Mom. Another kill. That's a third track kill in a row.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Things are getting out of control super quickly here. And they just didn't respect the timing. They didn't respect the timing window of the Magnus Blink when they were doing that Roshan. Maybe they got debated by that DD. But here, G trying to look for a kill, or at least trying to stop the bleeding here. He's already used that decrep.
He doesn't even need the bash. There's another decrep right there coming out of the big nuke. But again, Kaiser is just a little bit too beefy. He has the Aegis anyways. And this Troll Warlord is just absolutely out of hand now. Kaiser is just wrecking people left and right. And Vega Squadron just doesn't seem to have any kind of answer. And he's doing this without the BKB that he just about has finished now. So once he has the BKB, they really don't have any way to stop him outside of maybe the lockdown from Spirit Breakers you're talking about from the beginning. But that's just going to give him even more free reign. The Empower buff on top of that. The RP is going to be back up here now as well for Magnus. So the shift has happened, and it's just starting to get further and further in favor of HellRaisers. And now if you're Vega Squadron side, again, I'm still looking at the Ags as Axe on Chen, get those Ancients, try to push with that, but it doesn't feel like they really have many other choices. It's going to be a game of split push now, if anything, with the Nature's Prophet.
That's exactly what it's going to be. And they just haven't been able to activate this Monkey King at all. I mean, he hasn't had a presence in really any of these big team fights. They do have a charge here onto Bounty Hunter. He has a force. If he can maybe get away, he gets out of the ult for just a second there from Pugna, and that's going to be enough. There's a TP possibly from Furion, but no. So a nice early force staff pick, which you don't typically see from a Bounty. Usually it's the Greaves, but right here it definitely saves him.
Yeah, it does, and they're going right back in. We talked about the value of force staff last game even, and just in general how it's so good. The Aegis is reclaimed, but you know, Troll has the BKB and the double damage, although it's wearing off.
I really like this combo of items here for Troll. He goes for the BKB, so he can't get decrept anymore. So now Pugna's only play is I have to decrep myself. Now his next item on top of that is going to be the Diffusal. So now he has absolutely no answer to this Troll.
Good point.
He can't decrep the Troll. He can't decrep himself. If he does, he's just going to die anyway to the Diffusal. So I really, really like this item choice here from Kaiser.
Yeah. Building it well and looking to put his team in the driver's seat to try to force that third and final game here in this best of 3 of the group stages. Of course, Lich even has a force staff himself, and a fun build we have been seeing on the Liches. They get the Helm of the Dominator, they take over the Ogre Frost Mage, and apply even extra armor to people. But looking at this Radiant side, I mean, it's still in some good physical damage, but it's definitely not necessary. That was a Dire Courier kill, by the way, and that was a point booster on it. actually. Who was that? That was for Timbersaw? Yeah, it looks like it was for Timbersaw's Bloodstone, actually.
Which he has, basically. That's unfortunate.
Yep, that's going to be delayed now. 2.5 minutes here. Milan? Oh, he got charged first, and guess who's here? It's Troll.
And another, that's a level 2 track kill. Boy, I feel like this Bounty Hunter's levels have skyrocketed as well. He's higher level than anyone on the team of Vega. He's tied with Monkey King.
Yeah.
This got out of hand friggin' fast, and that's what can happen too with track. I mean, you put some track cold into the mix as well, and these heroes start to really take off.
Yeah.
I was going to mention one other thing. Oh, there was a really nice Orchid there from the Furion to get out, but I mean, they're in a pretty rough spot now.
That they are. He went the 30 damage down. The Orchid finish as mentioned, so he definitely has some pretty decent right click here. But Milan again scouting out, gonna find a target. We'll see Nature's Prophet here. Magnus charging in with that haster. Nature's Prophet just running this whole time. Get Blink and Skewer. There we go. They want to open. Need Blink and Skewer. Troll's also nearby. Don't get overcommitted if you're Vega. Troll, Forest tapped in. He pops Whirling Axes. No RP though from the Magnus, or no Blink at least. He has an RP though. He may actually go in right here. That's the TP attempt. No, the bash happens. And Pugna will die. Trying to TP at your tier 3 tower. That's when you know you're in danger. And it still didn't even work. And they're going to get the tier 2 now on top of this most likely. At the bottom. It just keeps getting worse. That's all there is to it really for Vega Squadron.
Yeah. We see kind of the reverse where Vega has a more, very early game centric based lineup, and they actually started off really well, but again they just didn't respect the timing of Magnus, didn't respect the RP, and totally shifted the dynamic of the game. I mean, what was that, like a 5,000 6,000 gold swing, and now we're up to about 8k and rising here, lead for HR with Magnus in power, with the Troll Warlord just being so far ahead, has the 2 combo of items against this Pugna. Pugna's essentially useless this game now.
Yeah.
I mean, he really can't kill anybody. They have double Force Staffs to get out of the range of his life drain. Trying to go for a Blink Skewer, wasn't quite able to get it. But yeah, Pugna's essentially useless game, and so that leaves basically the Nature's Prophet a split push against the Bounty Hunter, and a Monkey King who we just haven't seen do anything this game. Working towards a BKB, maybe that's their timing window here for Vega to possibly find a fight, but it's going to be a long shot.
I also feel like Ags on the Chen now, it's just lost its purpose because it's a great tool for pushing and trying to get those objectives, and that's like the whole point of it. But now that they're playing on the defense here, it just seems almost not useless, but really just not nearly as effective. I think it's the best way to put it. Now they will get them to respond at the top lane, and Nature's Prophet at least, and well, that was actually okay. Nature's Prophet gets picked off down here. Meanwhile, that was a Chain Frost even coming out. So you make that kill happen. Blink away from Magnus, and they're just going to keep on running. So they protect the top lane, and a Troll was up there, but now he's running back towards the team. He's going to look to join back with them. He's also trying to kill the Chen creeps.
That's always been the issue with Chen, isn't it? I mean, it's like if we get behind, then what's plan B?
Yeah.
And there just isn't really much of an effective plan B. Oh, the Skewer actually stops the trees, or breaks the trees there for Monkey King. He uses an RP. No follow-up just yet, unfortunately. Kind of awkward here. Set up fights here from HR. An ultimate coming in from Slayer. The Shuriken bounces back onto Pugna, gets the track kill. Just looking for a kill, but I'm not sure. Oh, he actually gets sent back. Nicely done from Zayak.
Yeah, from the Chen there. The test of faith does keep him alive, actually, but they're going to be here trying to defend. Who's not here is the Troll Warlord. That's because he's pushing out the top lane, and yeah, they probably want to kill this tier 1 tower, if anything. Maybe just push out those towers instead. Try not to break into the base just yet if you're HR. Again, you're not necessarily in a rush here. Just get the outside objectives at this point. But Nature's Prophet, he's going to be nearby. I mean, he trees him up, but that's just it. Says hello. Fall back from there. The rest of Troll's team, though, middle lane, Timbersaw, he does have that Bloodstone now. He's got the 1 extra charge added up on it. He did finish a pipe as well, and he has the bots now queued up even. So I'm looking for the Chen creeps. Does he even have any right now?
Yeah, I don't think he has any.
Yeah, they keep getting killed. Oh, there's one at base. Oh, there's actually an army in base. Okay, so he's going to bring them.
Oh, gotcha. We're stupid.
Yeah. Just took some time. Troll's actually in trouble. There you go. There you go. He pops a BKB. and it just doesn't matter. Wukong's command goes down. He picks off Nature's Prophet, though, and a couple hits later as well. 3-3. He's trying to take out Chen now, and again, Chen, what is he going to do at this point? He doesn't even have his minions with him. So he falls too. Monkey King just flying away in the tree. Spear Breaker, he got here late, and he's going to wish he never came. Slayer's dead. 4-0. They jump Troll, and they just didn't have the firepower to finish the job.
And I don't know how many of those 4 heroes that died were tracked, but I'm going to assume at least 2 of them. And 2 is bad enough. I mean, that Troll turned onto that Furion when he TP'd in, didn't even have Empower at the time, and 2 shot him. I mean, literally 2 shot him. Just, his damage output's insane. Has all the items he needs. He almost has a Scotty now. I mean, this is going to be a fast GG, I would think. There's no way for Vega to get back in this game.
Yeah.
Just absolutely none. This Monkey King just hasn't been able to do anything in these fights. Does now have a BKB, 10 second, and this is going to be their last hurrah.
I mean, Nature's Prophet is going to try to take out a Shrine right here. He's got the whole Chen army as well, the Frenzy buff applied, so he's going to take out the Shrine and continue to do objectives for the team, and maybe going to bait HellRaiser into actually falling back. So that's what Vega Squadron can do, is just keep delaying the game until they find some kind of opening some way, somehow. But it is pretty much their only chance. It does feel like, and again, it kind of continues to be that. But that's going to be another Aegis now. There's the cheese. And yeah, if you're HellRaisers here, I feel like you don't even worry about Nature's Prophet backdooring, because he's not going to win a base race. You almost just go like full blown into the base of the side, and you can just win that way. So they can't stop you. That's already been proven time and time here.
Looks like HR might just wait for the full Scotty up onto Kaiser. Although he can't really complete it right now. He's got no items. It's kind of a nice luxury to have at 28 minutes when you can't get your Scotty fit into your item build because you're just so farmed.
Whoops. Timbersaw? What's this about? G actually does get picked off in the middle lane. I'm watching this bottom fight happening, though, and Monkey King is dead. As soon as Troll got here, that just completely changed the tide of the fight. And now they're also going to find Chen on top of that. Meanwhile, the middle lane, yeah, they should probably call it here. I mean, they just fought right there, and they lost it all.
Yeah, okay. And J4's like, okay.
Where's the GG?
And, you know, even though he went for a BKB on this Monkey King to maybe try to fight them, there's kind of an awkward BKB game, right? I mean, there's not that much magic damage outside of, like, a Lich ulti and maybe Timbersaw, but the big issues are this bash coming out from Troll, the RP, which doesn't, you know, they don't care about that. Track still gets applied. So it feels like they have no answers right now and just waiting for the inevitable. Ward here placed outside of tower range on the bottom side of this tier 3, just to give it some extra vision. It's actually just a replenished ward. There was one there for quite some time already.
Just about to wear off even. So they got the vision there, but they're just going to be here now, the life drain. Yes, the RP caught a couple, including the Pugna and Spirit Breaker, and they just melt as soon as he charges them into the team. J4 is happy. But again, Vega Squadron, they're not a team to give up. They're going to keep holding. Split push from the Nature's Prophet at the bottom, so they instead go mid. And now they're going to look to drop the middle tower, but it's just Chen and Monkey King here. Chen with no creeps, mind you. Might as well just be in a glorified range creep at this point. And that's going to be a skewer on Monkey King into a death as well. Let's just feel like I've seen this before. That's another kill. Nature's Prophet, he's pushing out bottom, but again, if you're HellRaisers, why even care? You honestly might as well just finish here.
You know, the one silver lining about this game, if you're Vega, is that you can literally pinpoint this game to one moment.
True.
In one moment alone. I mean, they were destroying them in the early game. They were up by, I think, 6k gold very early on. But it was just one moment, one RP, one Roche fight that went disastrously, if that's a word. And so if there is a silver lining, you can go back and say, where did we go wrong? How do we fix this? Oh, easy fix. We spread out. We respect a possible smoke coming in. We respect the possible RP that could really just sway this game. So it's not like you're going back and thinking, was it draft? Was it this? Although it could have been draft. I mean, it feels like Monkey King had absolutely no impact this game, even when they were ahead. It was just the Pugna. So it could have been draft, but I mean, really, it was just not respecting that RP blink.
That's a very good point. I mean, Vega Squadron, don't overthink it. Exactly. It's just the great RP blink that came in at the Roshan pit. You had the lead, and they picked a lineup that, especially with the Chen more so, I feel like that because of that happening, that kind of turning the tides, he became ultimately a somewhat useless hero himself. Monkey King's impact was minimal throughout too, and overall that's MVP to Kid. That's just really the story of the game right there for landing such a big RP. Man, Kaiser though 18-1-10 in that game. He just he went off. That's what happens though when you got the Empower bot for you, the Armor bot for you, and that whole 4-1 strategy. That's what can take place. So we got a game 3 though here in this series. Looking forward to that one already. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by TraLF guys. Once again, remember, if you type !SkinCoin in chat, you can get the information on the giveaway that's currently going on. As well, if you go to skincoin.org, you can check out the latest cryptocurrency to enter the esports market, and you can trade for your favorite skins in Dota 2 as well as even CSGO. So game number 3, guys, HellRaisers versus Vega Squadron. We'll be back after a short break.